Day 112. You've got to want it so bad that the work becomes irrelevant. Again, you've got to want it so bad that the work becomes irrelevant. That's a little bit of a different twist or a different perspective from a more common quote that you might hear, which is, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And I think that in a lot of ways is applicable when I think about things that I'm pursuing, and especially things that I'm trying to get better at, whether, again, I'm trying to learn to play the guitar, or whether that's, years long pursuit of working out and eating healthy, trying to grow stronger, lift heavier weights, get more muscle, whether that's spiritual training. It's, hey, I'm never going to be perfect, but it's the pursuit of trying to be like Jesus, right? Or I'm never going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I'm going to try to maximize the earthly body that God gave me. Especially with runners, right? It's like I may never run a 4-minute mile, but I'm going to cut off 10 seconds per year of my mile time. Like, whatever the goal is, you can really buy into that. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey and the process. And I think that's true. But back to the quote today, you've got to want it so bad that the work becomes irrelevant. And I think two things can be true. I think both quotes can be true, because how that quote hits me is like, the things that you really want the most in life. And for me, again, always talking about from a earthly perspective, like working out, exercising, getting stronger. And there's things I certainly want more than that, which is, again, to be a child of God, to be a husband, to be a father. I always talk about my 5 priorities: God, family, my temple, friends, and hobbies. So that's the order of the things that I want to pursue. But this is a motivational channel. I like to tie motivation and scripture together. And on the physical motivation side today, like, that's just where my heart's at with this quote, is you've got to want it so bad that the work becomes irrelevant. Again, how does that quote hit me? It's like, if you really want something bad enough, you will find a way to get it done. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's 11:59 p.m. and you haven't made it to the gym and you've got 4 hours of sleep the night before. You are going to find a way. You are going to find a way to get the work in because it matters to you. Oh, something came up that's stressing you out at work. Okay, we're still going to get the work in. Oh, you got to go to the store late at night because you're out of meal preps and you got to get more healthy food to prepare. Okay, well, we're just going to get that done. Oh, I've got an entire day booked tomorrow, so the only time to wake up is at 4 a.m. to get my run and my lifting. Okay, we're going to do that. You're going to be solution-oriented to the level in which you care about the goal that you have. So I still think you can enjoy the journey and love the journey and love the process. But at the same time, that process can be irrelevant, meaning like how challenging and how much adversity you face alongside that process can be somewhat irrelevant, because you are still going to do it, whether it's coming naturally, whether you're not injured, or whether it's not coming naturally and there's all these other earthly adversity circumstances and your body's breaking down. Like, all of that can become irrelevant because you're still going to do it because you care about the end goal so much. Hopefully that makes sense. And I've said in videos before, like, I care about the journey because often for me, like, the goals change and the destination kind of changes as you achieve your goals. You can set higher ones. And luckily, like, for me, I'm doing things that I love in life. Like, I like my job. I obviously love God, love my family. I love going to the gym. I love eating healthy. I love taking care of my body. So it doesn't feel like it's the path of like the hardest resistance to do those things. Albeit though, alongside that journey, there are days where you don't feel like working out. There's days that you don't feel like eating healthy. There's days that you feel like you'd prefer to sit on the couch and eat the donuts. So you don't always enjoy the journey, even though like the process of growth and the prospect of getting stronger, like all that's good. But again, if you want something bad enough, the work, the avoidance of the donut, and the pushing yourself to the gym on the days where you feel sick or bloated or tired, you're just going to do it because you know that the long-term gratification is worth that thing that you want so bad. I just loved that quote. I read it today for the first time and I'm like, oh, You got to want it so bad that the work is irrelevant. And it doesn't mean you're going to go through the motions and kind of half-butt the work that you're doing. No, it's all the more reason that you're going to do it as hard as you can and give everything you got, because you know that it's all in the work. And again, it doesn't mean the work's irrelevant in the sense that you're not going to go hard. It just means that no matter how challenging and how many obstacles get in the way of the work's going to get done because you care about that goal so much. Sorry for continuing to reframe that and to continue to clarify, but I'm just that passionate about that quote. The work's irrelevant. You're going to get it done either way. Philippians chapter 2, verses 12 through 13, reading from the NLT version, it says, "Work hard to show the results of your salvation, obeying God with deep reverence and fear, for God is working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases Him." Deep reverence and fear. I underlined that. You're going to obey God, and you're going to ask Him to do what is a part of His will and not your own, when you really have that respect and that fear and that reverence for Him. And in this world, man, especially in the U.S., when we have so much excess with everything, and we have all these comfortabilities in our life, it's so easy to just say, oh, I don't need God. I can live my own life. Like, people say that kind of stuff. It's like, and even if you're not outwardly saying that, you can just get in a pattern living life of feeling like you don't need Him because you've got all of your basic needs met here in America. You're going to bed warm. You have enough food. You're not struggling to pay bills. If you've got excess, man, be careful that you're not relying on yourself to be your own God. So that scripture today in Philippians hit me. It's somewhat tied into the verse or to the quote today. A little bit different. But again, work hard to show the results of your salvation so others can see you living a life for Jesus. Even if things are inconvenient for you, or even if you're treating someone with love and respect that's not reciprocating it, like, let others see the hard work that you're putting in for your salvation. And let others see that you're obeying God with deep reverence and fear. People will see that God's working in you. Giving you, and God's giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases Him. I love that. So again, whatever your goal is in life, if you know that you're living optimally, doing the best that you can, you're not perfect, but you're just pursuing every day, living, connecting to God spiritually, living in this physical world, being a vessel for Him, taking care of your body. If you're like me, I know everyone's got different goals, but trying to make the most of what God's given me and blessed me with on this earth. From a leadership perspective, from a taking care of myself perspective, if I'm doing things for Him and knowing who I am because whose I am, I'm going to be able to live life with a full cup and achieve a lot in this world. You've got to want it so bad that the work becomes irrelevant. That's day 112.